What's up everybody, T-Cybers here and I'm coming at you with a review for Fallout 4's first DLC. For all of those that watch me play either in live streams or in video format, thank you for checking out my almost daily live streams and watching my videos for one. You can join me every day at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I say that, but I'm trying to get my schedule back on track. I know a lot of people that actually attend my streams know it's kind of bullshit at the moment, but I'm trying to get everything back on track. Anyways, second, I know I talk a lot about Fallout 4 being lazy or rushed, but I do like the game. I really do. Yes, it seems like I don't when I'm criticizing it to hell, but that's only because I love Fallout and I love Bethesda. Just like many of you, if you're watching this review or if you check out my channel, you know that most of the games I play are Skyrim and Bethesda Fallout games or whatever, and most of my time I spend on Skyrim and Fallout. I love Skyrim and Fallout just like a lot of you, and I have to critique the things that I love, and that's just what you do. You're not easy on the things that you love. So for those that think I don't like Fallout, I do like the game. Like I said, I just feel like it's a little lazy and rushed at moments, at times, or whatever, throughout the entire game so far, so... But I'm gonna save the rest of that for my full Fallout 4 review when I actually finish the game, which I'm gonna take my time doing, so, don't rush me. Today I'm here to talk about Fallout 4's first DLC, and first let me get this out of the way real quick. I'm sorry if it feels, like, awkward when I'm looking at the camera, because I'm looking down at the camera and my setup, my studio area is, like, laughably tiny, so everything's a little awkward when I'm sitting here yelling at a camera. Anyways, today I'm here to talk about Fallout 4's first DLC, Automatron. That's the name of it, right? Automatron? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Automatron. To be completely honest with you, Automatron feels like something that was ripped out of the game at development and sold to us later for an extra $10. It's a cool little add-on, but it's not rewarding upon completion, and which, may I add, does not take very long. I live streamed the entire thing, and it honestly took up to about maybe 3.5 to 4 hours. That's kinda including me having to go collect parts so I can build up the robot I needed and the robot upgrades that I needed as well. But yeah, 3.5 to 4 hours. That's with power armor. Without power armor, it may take you a little longer, but it's also going to be a hell of a lot more frustrating. The quest to bring vengeance or justice to the Mechanist, this twisted psycho with an army of robots that are not very impressive. You can honestly build better robots that you're going to be facing using one of the features added by the DLC. In the DLC, they give you the ability to use a robot workbench to customize and build your own robots, which I admit is really fucking cool. The customization for the robots is fucking awesome. I have, like, the only robot that I use, which I have more to say about that, the only robot that I use and that you're going to use as well more than likely is Ada. And when you first find her, she's really slow and, like, stubby and fucking clumsy, walking with her Protectron legs and her random scattered body parts. She has a sentry arm, some kind of weird head, and a Assaultron arm and body. So I kept the Assaultron arm, body, and the sentry arm, because it doesn't really matter to change the arm, unless you care about the armor upgrades, but she rarely goes down anyway, so it doesn't really matter to change those anyways. But I kept the body, basically. I changed the head to an Assaultron head that looks really awesome, one of the laser blasting ones. Unfortunately, I don't have my science or roboticness thing up enough to actually give the laser upgrade, but that is an ability that you can give her, I do believe. It says the laser Assaultron head on there. I'm not quite sure if she does use it, but I'm pretty sure she does. But I changed her legs, her really clumsy Protectron legs, into a Gutsies, which Gutsies the fucking like an octopus 3-armed robot thing, so I don't really like having around me because they look weird anyways. You can change her legs into the thruster that the Gutsies have, and she looks fucking epic with them on, or with the thruster on. So she's just like this thrusting, this floating, hovering robot with a jet bottom a fucking flaming sword arm and a sniper laser that she can't hit shit with, may I add. Don't equip the sniper laser thing on her arm. She sucks with it. For one, she can't see things that are 25 feet ahead of her, and when she does see things that are 20 feet ahead of her, she's gonna just sit there and fire at them and miss every shot until they get close enough for her to fucking epically just murder them with her flaming shish kebab sword arm. Which is fucking awesome. So the customization to the robot system, it's really cool. The robot workbench is really cool. You can make these sick robots. Like I made another one, basically made a big ass fucking century tank with the robot brain treads, and the treads are fucking sick too. The way that they move with the treads, I thought it was going to be a little bit clumsy, but it literally just looks like a rolling fucking tank, and it looks sick, fucking sick. So, again, the customization and playing with all the robot parts and everything is fun, and it is fucking cool. But again, it feels like something that was just ripped out of the game at development. This is something that, yeah, I would approve of this being in development, but this it feels like something, when you're playing with it, it feels like something that should have been in the game from the start. Another reason why building the robots kinda is pretty useless, because you're only going to use one robot anyway, the only one that keeps company with you, and you can tell her to shut off her personality if you just like to run around and be a mute, but I personally like my followers to have a little bit of personality to them when I'm running around the wasteland, or Skyrim. That's why when DAWNGUARD came out, everyone kept Serana, because she had more personality than any of the followers in the game. So, yeah. But Ada, for the personality that she does have, she does not have a follower's DLC personality like Serana did. Serana, she would do random shit around you, say whatever, you could go to certain locations, then she'll comment on those locations, and she actually felt like company that was around you. The only things that Ada says are directly aligned with the quest of the DLC. And I can't really say the main quest of the DLC, because there's only one quest, and that's it. It's again another reason why it feels like it was just ripped out of the game. It feels like one of those creative missions that you have so many to choose from Fallout 3 and Skyrim, such as the Those quest from Fallout 3, where you have to take on those giant ants, do a bunch of stuff there, fucking go inside, choose whether you kill the queen ant or not kill the queen ant, get past the elite guard ants and whatever the fuck else, do a bunch of stuff there. You can make the ants murder each other in a big fury, and then you're rewarded with a cool ass perk that's actually really helpful at the end of that quest. Or the Anti-Agonizer versus the Mechanist quest inside Fallout 3. Those are two really deep, elaborate quests that just add so much more to the game. Unfortunately, in Fallout 4, there's a huge lack of these quests. Don't even get me started on Skyrim's deep, elaborate quest. We have the DAWNGUARD DLC, which is their first one, which is massive. It adds 2 whole new worlds to the game, the Soul Cairn and the Forgotten Vale, which, yeah, there are things to do. There are plenty of side activities inside those places to do. They may not be something big like Soulstein from the Dragonborn DLC, but they are 2 different worlds that are not connected directly to the Skyrim world. Unlike inside Fallout 4, the first DLC, everything is just spawned in. Everything is inside Boston, so you don't get to go outside the world. There's nothing new added to it, except for these new buildings that are just randomly there now. Sorry, went off on a tangent. As I was saying, the Mechanist army of robots are not very impressive. You see a couple of cool ones, but honestly, the coolest fucking robot I've seen was fighting the Rust Devils. The Rust Devils, which are like another faction of these bandits, these raiders that are very robot-like or whatever. They build robots, they wear robots as armor, which the armor is really fucking cool. But unfortunately, those only there's a maximum of maybe 2 different armor sets that you're going to get with this DLC, and that's fucking pathetic. Actually, I think about it, yeah, there's exactly 2 different armors that you're going to get with this DLC. You can get either the Rust Devil's armor that you'll see them wearing like robot parts as armor, which is really cool because my guy looks really fucking sick in it. And the Mechanist armor that you'll get when you finish the DLC. So, you can say that the Tesla arms, I got these really cool big Tesla arms from a T60 set inside the game, but those are already inside the base game. I just didn't have the armor ability or the technology or the whatever the fuck I need at the level to actually make them on my power armor, so I took them off one of the characters and added by the DLC. But those arms are still already inside the base game, so there are 2 armor sets that are not added into the game. One of which that you will possibly use, depending on what kind of armor that you use. I personally like big, heavy, my character's a melee tank character, so I like to run up into my character, I like to run up into my enemies and knock their fucking heads off with a jet-propelled super sledgehammer and whatever the fuck else, baseball them over fucking buildings with my small chance to hit a home run with a fucking enemy baseball bat. And yeah, so that's it. The armor that was added by the game fits my character personally. That's only if you like heavy armor type stuff. Maybe if you like more agile leather armor, you're a sneaky character, a sniper maybe, something that doesn't like heavy armor and doesn't like to use it, like to take up a lot of your carry weight. It's not really going to fit you very well. There's nothing really added for you. There's also not many weapons that you're going to use inside the game. I basically picked up everything, and really the only weapons that you're going to get are added by the robot creating system, and some of the stuff that you're going to find inside the Rust Devil's lair, like this Assaultron head gun thing, that when you fire it, it fires the Assaultron's laser thing out of its eye fucking thing, but you're just holding its head, but you're firing its head. But you're firing it, sorry, I heard something in the background. But you're firing its head as a laser, but it also does a fuck ton of radiation to you when you fire it, so it's not very useful, and no one's really going to use it, unless you have high-ass radiation resistance, which I don't, so. The quest begins when you meet this robot named Ada, who is the sole survivor of her convoy. All of her friends are killed in the attack when you arrive at the DLC to activate it. She wants to get revenge for her friends, so you immediately just go off on a quest to hunt down these 3 special robots that have this ability or that have something you need, so that Ada can then track down and locate the location of the Mechanist facility. Again, doing the quest, it feels immediately like something that should have already been in the game. Starts off with this 3 repetitive thing by hunting down the 3 same robots, and then boom, you're off to go finish the DLC. Doesn't take very long at all. The longest part of the game was honestly getting through the Mechanist facility, which is pretty fucking epic when you're fighting your ass off through that entire facility. It's pretty deep, there's a lot of robots inside there, and the final boss battle was actually really fucking cool. Really fucking cool. Tons of robots. It even gets kind of funny at the end when they just start throwing scraps at you and shit, so it's pretty funny, and it's a pretty cool ending of a boss fight to the DLC, but again, it only takes about 3 hours to get there, and it feels like something that should have already been inside the game as one of those more elaborate quests. Again, it feels like it was just ripped directly out of the game, which is not hard to get into, and I feel like there should have been so much more to do with Ada. There should have been so much more to this quest, something more to the DLC, maybe some side stuff you could have done, some other random activities up to the side. One building I ran into, the first building you go into to find the first robot that you need to get the first tracker piece, there's some kind of side activity, just a random thing over to the side of the building. Don't go and activate it because it will break your fucking game. And you'll constantly just hear this voice coming out of the speaker, "Punish the child, punish Timmy, punish the child, punish Timmy, punish the child, punish Timmy, and then if once the game breaks and you leave the facility or that building, you'll still hear punish the child, punish Timmy, punish the child, punish Timmy throughout the background, and you feel like you're going fucking insane. So nice bugs, Bethesda. But yeah, other than that broken part of a side activity, there is no other side activities in the game, no other side quest, and you can't really call after you finish the DLC. You have the ability to hunt down, or you get these random quests, not side quests, but random quests after you finish the DLC to go hunt down the remaining robots, which I'm pretty sure is just an endless thing you can do to get some XP. Just like inside the DAWNGUARD DLC, after you finished and took down all the vampires and took down, that quest took forever by the way, and it was rewarding as hell. It was so fucking cool. I love the DAWNGUARD DLC for Skyrim, but after the DLC, you then can just constantly go and get quests for going to hunt down remaining vampires somewhere inside Skyrim. That's exactly what that is. Now you're just getting remaining quests to go hunt down random robots inside the wasteland. So overall, yes, I'm disappointed with Fallout 4's first DLC. Again, I'm repeating myself because there's not much that I can talk about here. Again, it feels like it was ripped directly out of the game. These functions and everything inside added by the DLC feel like that were something that should have been in at development, because there's not much to do in the game as it is. There's nowhere near as many side activities or quest, elaborate quest things that you go deeply into. Like for instance, let's go over the Companions quest and the Minutemen's quest. Let's compare the two of these together. In Fallout 4, let's start with Skyrim. In Skyrim, to join the Companions, you go to Whiterun. You talk to Cadillac Whitemane, and you talk to him, convince him to let you join the Companions. Vilcus, his right-hand man, basically, does not like you immediately. You go out to the yard, train with him a little bit. He treats you like a whelp, just like everyone else is going to. Tells you to go take his sword up to the blacksmith to have it, shined, or sharpened, actually. Yeah, sharpened. And, everything else. Then you go and do some more whelp work for the Companions, and that takes a while. You do a few whelp quests for them, and then they send you on your Proving Grounds quest, to where you find out that all of them are not vampires. You find out all of them are werewolves. You go through and you fight these Silverhand inside this tomb and everything, and you discover secrets and all of this, and you go forth and you're allowed, or they officially bring you into the Companions as a companion. You're no longer a whelp. But you want to be part of the circle. So in order to be part of the circle, you have to become a werewolf, and to join the circle for them all to trust you officially. You go and do this, where you go off, fight some more Silverhand, and then one of the members of the guild dies. Ayala has you run around, do even more quest, taking down the Silverhand, stealing their plans, finding out where they are, and whatever the fuck else. Cadillac finds out about this. He sends you on his own personal quest, because it's been so long and you've done so much work for them that he trusts you to do this own personal thing for him. He wants you to go take out Glenmore witches and bring back their heads for a cure. You come back, Cadillac dies, unfortunately, because the Silverhand somehow got into Whiterun and attacked, killed Cadillac, and then left, I guess. You're then taken by Vilcus to go wipe out the rest of the Silverhand, get the fragments of Wuthrad, the badass Companion's axe, back, come back, get it reforged. You then go back, or you then lead the Companions all the way back to the resting grounds of all the Harbingers of the Companions, where you have to fight through a ton of ancient Harbinger ghosts to get to where Cadillac is. Then you have to fight his wolf spirit and cure him finally after death, and then you are rewarded as the leader of the Companions. That is a fucking epic quest. Now let's compare it to the Minutemen. At the beginning of Fallout 4, You come out of the vault. Well, first you whatever the fuck everything else in the beginning. Then you come out of the vault. 200 years later, everything's destroyed, and you walk down the street a little bit, talk to Codsworth, walk down the street a little bit more, and you discover Preston, a Minuteman who is protecting a group of settlers and trying to get them to a safe place. Sounds like a noble goal. You then talk to Preston after wiping out the raiders that are there, and they go on up to Sanctuary. You go off and fuck off and do whatever the hell you want after that, or you can go back to Sanctuary and go do some work for Preston. You do a total of like 2 missions for him, which are basically a settlement needs your help. Go help them. And then you go and help those couple of settlements. You then come back and he says, hey man, you should be the general of the Minutemen. After doing 2 quests for me, I totally trust you. Boom. You're now the leader of the Minutemen. Really? So yeah, obviously I have some problems with Fallout 4. But I will talk about those in a separate video after I finish my playthrough of Fallout 4, because I do want to discover as much as I can about the game. I'm not just going to critique it the fuck and then whatever the fuck else on video. So anyways, that is my review of the Fallout 4's first DLC. I'm overall disappointed with it, and if I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 4 out of 10, honestly, because it feels like, again, it's been ripped directly from the game and sold to us later. Everything in it feels like something that should have been inside the game from the beginning. The 2 fucking armor sets, the whole 2 fucking armor sets that you get, like the 3 entire weapons that you get, and the ability to build robots, yeah, which is fucking cool, but it's fucking something cool that should have been inside the game from the beginning. And that's what it feels like when you're playing with it anyways. If you don't trust my opinion on it just from watching me talk about it, you can go and watch my 3 videos, because it only took 3 live streams to do it. And they were all like an hour long. The first one's a couple hours long, but most of it was just me fucking around half the time. But yeah, you can go watch my 3 videos of me actually playing through the full experience of the first Fallout 4 DLC. And you guys, tell me what you think about the first Fallout 4 DLC. If you joined me for my live streams, or if you watched them afterwards, or if you played it before, seen someone else play it, let me know what you think of the Fallout 4's first DLC, Automatron. Overall, I'm disappointed with it. I give it a 4 out of 10, which is below average on my scale. I basically go by the same scale as Angry Joe, because that scale just makes a lot more sense than, bigger fucking reviewers or whatever, like IGN and shit. Most of their shit's bullshit anyways. Thank you very much for watching, you guys, and I will see you guys in either my next live stream or my next review. And, thank you very much for watching.